like to welcome everyone and thank you all for attending the 2023 JDS annual meeting. I'm Megan Kimpton, and as head of school, I am pleased to help bring this official annual gathering of the membership of the Jewish Day School of Metropolitan Seattle to order. While this meeting is an official requirement in the school's bylaws and articles of incorporation with the state, it is also a time where we can assemble to celebrate the end of the school year, acknowledge the transition to the next, and recognize those members of the community that deserve our sincere gratitude for the work they have done in furthering our mission. Over the course of this year, the Board of Trustees and I have worked side by side to advance a strong and stable foundation on which JDS can soar into the future. I am incredibly appreciative of the immense amount of time this passionate group of individuals dedicates to the school. Because of their stewardship, the 2023-24 school year is poised to be full of exciting moments of new growth, new experiences, and new moments of joyous inquiry. I would now like to ask Nance Adler, our Meskiach Rouhani, our humanities teacher in middle school and middle school coordinator, to share her wisdom through a Devar Torah to begin our evening.
This week's Torah portion is Behalotacha. This parsha has a lot of great stuff in it. Kvetching Israelites being gorged on pheasant to get them quit whining about a lack of meat when they have manna magically appearing overnight and it can taste whatever whatever they most desire. Jobs being assigned to the Levites for moving the tabernacle around in the wilderness, and some famous lines that might sound familiar. Vayehi ben Aharon vayomer Moshe Kuma Adonai vayafutzu oivecha vayanusu misanecha mipanecha. When the ark set out, Moses would say, "Advance, Adonai, may your enemies be scattered, may your foes flee before you." And then there's also some mysterious backward nuns before this verse and after the one that follows it. The parsha talks about how the Israelites journeyed in the wilderness and what kept them safe. It covers how they prepared for each move and who had what jobs. It is about venturing out into new places and how to do so safely and successfully. Here at JDS this year, every village has done a lot of journeying, literally and figuratively, into new territory this year. Every week it seems like some village or other is going somewhere or doing something new and fascinating. I was fortunate recently to have the opportunity to have a group of middle schoolers learn in depth about the Belsky partisans, a personal passion of mine, and work together to create artwork that will be used for the 80th anniversary of the escape from the Novgorod ghetto, and the fact that those who escaped survived because the Belskys were in the woods to take them in, men, women, and children, all of them. We zoomed each morning to Belarus to speak to Tamara Vershitskaya, the leading historian at the site of the Belsky camp in the Nalibaki forest, and we spoke with Aron Bell, the last surviving Belsky brother. We journeyed literally to the Emerald Forest Theater property so that the kids could spend time in the woods and see a pond like the one where the Jews hiding in the woods had to walk through in order to hide from the Nazis. We made art from nature and ended up with a beautiful logo drawn by Maya Delkow with help and inspiration from the other 7 students in the group. This logo will adorn swag used at future events connected with the Belskys. That's internationally. This art will be used. From Aron, the students learned that when their father sent them into the woods, he told them to be good Jews, to take care of others, and to live. These words guided them and helped to form their philosophy of saving every Jewish life that they could. Aaron shared that he still tries to be a good Jew and how important it has been to him throughout his 95 years. Other JDS outings this year have included Blue Village, which visited the Winglink Museum as part of their PBL unit titled Marking History, Making History. They dove back into the past by reading and researching about Chinese immigrants and their arrival in the Pacific Northwest. Their experiential learning was exemplified with a dumpling class led by a professional chef and a tour of the Winglink Museum. Villagers stepped back into history as guides walked them through the Kongik buildings, which housed storefronts, hotels, family associations, and apartments. These buildings served as a cultural hub for Chinese, Japanese, and Filipino immigrants. Learners used this field trip as a basis for creating historical markers to commemorate places connected to Chinese immigration. Purple Village went on a field trip to the Seattle Art Museum to see an exhibit that was created by two artists that showed viewers the life of African Americans through portraits, street pictures, and more. These showed moments of lives on the streets of Harlem, the coastal Sea Islands, the historical Underground Railroad, and the American South. They also went to Islandwood and on a farm visit that the Blue Village joined them on, where they learned how to card wool and about the industry connected to making fiber. Yellow Village did some cool things like exploring the underground Seattle, where they learned about previous communities, walked on streets over 150 years old, stepped into buildings that don't exist anymore. I'm not sure how you do that. Looked up through the old sidewalk at modern people walking past. They also went to MoHI, the Museum of History and Industry, to explore the timeline of Seattle and learn about the Great Seattle Fire that caused us to rebuild the city as it is today. During sharing circles, I was able to see some of the great work that came out of this project in the form of a very detailed and informative timeline. I think the Yellow Villagers know more about Seattle's history than I do, and I invited August to come share his timeline with the 7th graders in the Washington State history class. Yellow Village also got hands-on while exploring design thinking process, becoming innovators to solve global problems at the Tinker Space at the Pacific Science Center. Green Village was not ready for outings earlier this year, but worked hard to be able to venture off campus safely and did take a trip to the local post office at the end of May. You might have seen the pictures online. Getting ready for this trip involved learning to follow rules, knowing your job when off campus and listening to the adults in charge. Taking with them their JDS expectations and classroom culture helped make them ready and able to head out and have a new adventure. This adventure was a culminating activity of a unit on geography that sounds amazing. Here's what Hamora Ann wrote about it. During our geography unit, we wondered where in the world do we live? We explored maps and learned positional words, symbols, and how to read a map key. We created our own maps of make-believe town and added things we really loved, including one that had 10 swimming pools. We learned the difference between a globe and a map, and all of us worked to find and label our own home on our large classroom map. We went further and discovered continents and oceans and studied the country we live in and some of our symbols and the history behind them. At the end of the unit, the learners learned about one of the systems that keeps us all connected in this big world. We studied the US postal system and learned how to write a friendly letter. Learners took time to write letters to friends and family all over the world, and then they visited the post office to mail their letters. They hope to receive letters back from their friends and family, and it's a wonderful way to stay connected in this big world. Our youngest learners, the Orange Village, limited their journeys mostly to around campus, and I'm going to read what Hamor Julie wrote because it's really just beautiful. We have gone to the Beehive. We have a beehive at the end of campus if you've not been to it. Noticed nature around campus. We hatched butterflies and let them go. And we're going to Hillar Park tomorrow for Tea Day, for a terrific trip on Tea Day. Most of what we are learning is how to observe, to notice details, the vocabulary to describe it to someone else, and the wonder of everyday miracles. I tried to find reasons for us to say the Shehechianu. Other Rainbow Village outings, that's middle school, included several science and team building field trips for 6th and 7th graders while 8th grade was in Israel. These days were organized by Hamora Jeremy. 6th grade focused on the importance of wetlands as a natural habitat, practiced nature journaling, and then participated in several group development activities that challenged them to work together and to create a communication plan for how to collaborate in large and small groups. They worked to gain an understanding of the importance of the natural environment and our place in it, and advocating for positive change in our community. In 7th grade, they also practiced nature journaling, as well as different techniques for scientific and nature drawing, and note-taking through observing the environment around them. So our youngest and oldest learners all doing observing nature and how to describe it. The majority of their time is spent participating in group development activities that challenge them to think as a group and about the group as a whole and how their presence has an impact on those around them and to better advocate for their needs, especially with authority figures. This is very much like our Israelites wandering in the desert, working to get along as a group and find their way with their new leaders and responsibilities. And of course, the 8th grade trip to Israel is the ultimate student outing and requires lots of preparation, a clear list of expectations, and everyone knowing their jobs. taking with them their Jewish connection, their JDS values, their love of learning, and a sense of adventure and fun. The 8th graders had an amazing trip this year, our first since COVID canceled the trip in 2020, and were excellent learners and travelers. The ancient Israelites took God with them on their adventures. The Ark of the Covenant was God's resting place, and it was considered to be a powerful defensive weapon. The lines I sang at the beginning reflect this in the call for God to scatter their enemies before them. When JDS students venture forth, they take their Jewish and JDS values, a love of learning, a sense of wonder. They go out of a desire to experience new things, to help others, to connect to history, their own and that of other communities, to develop empathy and understanding. They travel forth with Jewish values and JDS expectations for their behavior. They are prepared to be successful and safe in their adventuring. JDS gives our students experiences and opportunities that they would not have elsewhere. From small groups that allow every student to be seen and heard and known, to big opportunities because we are small and flexible, our students are given the ability to expand their learning well beyond the 4 walls of their classroom. I now call up Josh Nash.
I just whispered Yasher Koch to her, but I should have said it much louder. Yasher Koch, Nance. Thank you so much. Can y'all hear me? Is that better? Is that better? Okay. Thank you, Nance Yasher Koch. I'm Josh Nash. I am the acting governance VP right now. And I'm here to cover the actual business of this evening. The JDS Board of Trustees is a group of people, some parents, some community members, who help guide the strategic and financial direction of the Jewish Day School. While the board has the ongoing responsibility for fiduciary sustainability for the school since its inception, the individuals who are on the board obviously change over time. I'd like to start first off by acknowledging and thanking those board members whose terms are coming to an end this year and who are rolling off the board. First is our outgoing president, Heather Lader, board member from 2018 to 2023. She is not here this evening unless she surprised us in something else. She's not here this evening. She moved to Florida. It's made it challenging to be governing the board, but she's done a great job at it from a distance, and we want to pass our thanks along to her, hoping she watches the video of this at some point. Next, Narkis Engler, who has been a board member since 2017 until this year. Thank you, Nance. And right behind Nance, Nathan Goldberg. Nathan Goldberg, he and I had to chat today to figure out exactly how long he's been on the board, because he's been on the board so long that it predates the record keeping, at least the current system of record keeping. So we came down to about 2013 is when we think it was, because he did 3 terms, plus he added an extra year on this past year, and we thank him for that. So thank you for your service as well, Nathan. Megan is bringing a gift to Narkis and to Nathan as a small token of our appreciation for your contributions to JDS over the years. Thank you again. And Lador Vador, as we say goodbye, not goodbye, but see you soon, at least not in the boardroom, to our outgoing board members. I want to welcome our one incoming. She moved. Where is she now? Where's Tria? Oh, you are still there. You're right in front of me. Sorry. I looked one seat to the left of you and didn't see you. Tria Diamond is joining the board this year. I'm pleased to be welcoming her. Tria's bio is on the front of the back page of the program, which I'm going to point you to now for both welcoming Tria to the board, and I'll give everybody a chance to read her amazing bio. She's a Marine, if you didn't know that. And I'll also keep your attention on this back page to look at the top half of the back page, which is highlighting the incoming executive slate, the executive committee for the board. And on that board, I'm just going to rattle off the names into the formal record. President Sarah Castoriano, VP of Finance and Treasurer Josh Rappaport, VP of Governance Debbie Sears, Secretary Hada Mesestrano, and VP of Development Ida Wickland. Officially, the one piece of business we have is to be voting Tria and that executive slate in. For the sake of expediency, I'm hopeful that both are going to pass by an overwhelming majority, and so I'm going to combine them together. Unless something goes horribly, horribly wrong, I expect this to pass. But I didn't write the script for the situation in case that didn't pass, so Stay with me on this one. So I'm going to formally move to confirm our new board member and executive slate as stated on that front of the back page of the program, in the program for tonight's meeting. Can I get a second? Second from Eric Olin. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Awesome. Any abstentions? Fantastic. That passes. Congratulations, Tria. Congratulations to the new executive slate. And I'd like to turn things over to our newly elected president, Sarah Castoriano. Sarah.
Good evening. So I'm going to warn everybody, my mother who's here tonight in the audience put me through theater camp, and so I learned to project my voice at a very young age, so I get nervous on microphones that I'm going to blow out everybody's eardrums, so forgive me if that happens. Good evening, and thank you for coming tonight. It's actually awesome to see the turnout. It's larger than it was last year, so it's really exciting to kind of see us all coming back as a community in person. It's truly an honor to be before you tonight as the incoming board president. And I know Josh already introduced myself, but allow me to introduce myself. My name is Sarah Castoriano, and I embarked on my journey with JDS in September of 1988. I still vividly recall my first day clad in a pink dress, brimming with excitement for the first day of school, and my enthusiasm got the better of me, and I stumbled down that very breezeway and scraped my knees and needed a bandage before my first day of class. When I think about JDS, I think about the countless memories and experiences I've had and shared with others. From those early days of scraped knees, my first Shabbaton, my trip to Israel, and now becoming a leading voice in our community, JDS has been foundational to my success and who I am today. Now, with a great sense of duty and responsibility, I embrace the role as JDS's first alumna board chair, and I'm deeply humbled and excited to embark on this journey of leadership and service to our beloved school. First and foremost, I want to express my gratitude to the entire school community, the faculty, the staff, the parents, board members, and most important, students, for your unwavering commitment to the excellence in education and the preservation of our Jewish values. It is this shared education that has enabled us to thrive and stand as a pillar of academic excellence in the Seattle Jewish community and an anchor for Jewish education here on the East Side, all the way back to the 80s. Looking ahead, we stand on the precipice of a new era of our school, a future of possibilities and potential. To that end, I have 3 primary goals in mind for our school. Number 1, first and foremost, finalize the location of our future home. It's gonna happen. A location that invites learning and grows, a place where our students can build upon their intellectual curiosity and embrace their Jewish values, just as they've done here on this campus. Second, we will continue to grow our enrollment. Our school has always been a place of academic excellence and character development, and we'll work to grow and reach more families in our community by continuing our strategic marketing initiatives, enhancing our outreach efforts, and building strong relationships with local organizations. We hope to attract new students who will contribute to the joy of JDS. Lastly, Megan and the board will continue to manage our resources efficiently and ensure our school has a sustainable operational model for the future. I want JDS to be here for the many generations to come. We will explore potential partnerships, engage our community in creative ways that support our mission, and maintain high-quality education that we provide today. I have every confidence in the power of collective determination, resilience, and community spirit to achieve these goals and bring JDS forward. Together, we will transform this vision into a tangible reality. I would be remiss if I didn't take a moment to acknowledge the strong partnership that exists between the Board of Trustees and our head of school, Megan, along with her dedicated staff and faculty. this isn't in the script, but I just remember interviewing Megan, and like from day one, I've adored her, and I think like everybody on the board, and I hope everybody in the audience today like feels the way we do about Megan on the Board of Trustees. She's phenomenal. I can't say more about her, and I'm so glad that she's part of our family. I couldn't imagine without her. I couldn't put that in because she reviewed my speech earlier, so. Megan's commitment to our school, the mission, her leadership, and her deep compassion for our community has been instrumental in propelling our institution forward. Her tireless efforts have built up an environment where excellence flourishes and our students thrive. I want to thank Megan and her team for their exceptional work and dedication. Thank you to all of you. Your unwavering commitment to our students' success and well-being is truly inspiring, and we were fortunate to have you at the helm of our school. I want to also extend my sincere appreciation for our outgoing board chair, Heather Lader, for her exceptional leadership and dedication and personal mentorship to me over the last 3 years. Her guidance has paved the way for us to build upon our past achievements and embrace the opportunities that lie before us. Thank you to our new exec committee, Debbie, Hada, Ida, the other Josh. Thank you for taking on these roles. They are not easy, but I'm hoping together that we will thrive. And finally, thank you to the Board of Trustees for your service, for showing up for committee work, for showing up to meetings, and never holding back on what you believe is best for our school. It's all of our voices that bring us forward. Furthermore, for every member of our community, I want to encourage everybody to contribute their unique talents and ideas and perspectives to our school. Together, we can create an even brighter future for our school, a future that not only reflects the unwavering commitment to academic excellence, but also celebrates our shared Jewish values and traditions, shaping our lives and our children's lives to make a difference in our world today. Thank you. It also gives me great honor to present the President's Award to Elaine Sulkin, who is not here this evening, but it's especially exciting for me as an alumni because she is somebody that I remember as a force at this school from when I was here. So Elaine has a very long history, a longer history than I do, and so I'm very excited, and it's very worthy for her to be awarded this today. Elaine has been a relentless cheerleader and supporter for JDS. Her belief in the beauty and importance of our Jewish education, and most importantly, JDS education, is truly remarkable. In her capacity as a woman who defines strong leadership in her own professional and philanthropic pursuits, her counsel on the JDS Head of Advisory Committee has been invaluable to moving the strategic initiatives of the school forward. Elaine is truly a pillar of the JDS community, and we are incredibly appreciative for her contributions, great and small. Thank you, Elaine. And now, I'm handing off to Ida.
Well, thank you to Sarah. Can you all hear me okay? Great. So first of all, I will be totally transparent. Nobody reviewed my script because I don't have one. And so my name is Ida Wickland. I'm the VP of Development. And I think that Nathan was on the board before I joined the board, and I can't remember how many years I was on the board, or I've been on the board. So what I would like to do is actually start by thanking Nathan and Narkis for their tremendous help in the last couple of years, specifically with our annual fund. They've been co-chairing for many years and supporting some of our development efforts. And for those of you who may or may not know, as all nonprofits do, JDS needs to fundraise, and so it is because of them and their efforts that we have been very successful over the years. And I want to thank both of you for always agreeing to step up and help, and you will very much, both of you, be missed on the board. And our other phenomenal fundraising effort that we do every year is the annual auction and gala. And Nancy Toker, I'm going to wave to everybody. I'll start by, so Nancy, I cannot say enough about Nancy just as a person. I adore her. She's phenomenal. And I would love for her to be my mom because she's amazing and a wonderful mother. But Nancy, I admire so much your creativity, your dedication. And there is, nobody wants to have a party after Nancy's party, because that's not true. It is true. But Nancy has been such a pleasure and joy to work with over the last 2 years as our auction co-chair. And so I just want to thank you so much for all of your contribution, not only at the auction, but also school-wide. One of the things that was really important to Nancy this year at the auction was that we raised money to do something really beautiful to help acknowledge our staff and faculty here at JDS. And Nancy took it upon herself to create, we raised a lot of money at the auction for this effort. And again, that was from our community, but then Nancy made an absolutely beautiful day just to really acknowledge the people that make things happen. Like, they produce my children, Sarah, like where she is today. All of our kids are a product of the wonderful people that come to this school every day to do a job, and we're very thankful. And I just want to acknowledge Nancy for all of the amazing hard work and effort and energy, not only for the auction, but everything that you do at JDS. Co-chair unfortunately cannot be here tonight. Amy Martin, equally dedicated and amazing and awesome, and we're sorry that we can't celebrate together, but thank you, Amy, if you're watching. We really appreciate all of your effort and energy as well. Another real fun part is the Parent Association, and they're the ones who bring us together in all the other really great fun ways. They help with the Teacher and Staff Appreciation Week, pulling together the Shabbat dinners and the coffees at Kahila and the room parents and the Hanukkah party, and just like all of the joy and ruach that we experience. And I would love to specifically thank today Trina Rappaport. As a parent, that again, I think I really think it's been 12 years, maybe 13 years since I've been a parent at JDS, and I too have jumped in for not just volunteering for PA, but trying to lead it. I really appreciate, and I know that we appreciate all of the perspective that you brought to it. So many new, creative, and fresh, and awesome ideas, and really there's so much effort and energy that you have put into it as well, and I thank you for bringing those things to us. Tria, where are you? Because I didn't see you earlier. Okay, oh, there you go. I mean, what can I say about you too? Amazing. So thank you for all of your support this year as well with the PA, and then Alina Benin as well. She's rolling off this year officially from the PA. So thank you guys so much for everybody here for supporting JDS through all of the different things that we do, and we're excited to just celebrate together. And as Sarah said, we have such an amazing, bright, beautiful future ahead, and to many more times together. I am going to turn it over to our fearless, amazing leader, and I loved her more, Sarah, when we interviewed her. I'm just teasing. Megan, amazing. Kempton.
Somebody took that script, and at this stage in the school year, the chips are very few and far between. Thank you, Josh.
You're welcome for it. I don't think you have to close it.
Nance, do you have the rest of my... All right, otherwise we're winging it. Okay.
You're welcome to read mine again.
That's all right. So I too would like to thank